and they've actually programmed in a little feature where it plays you a tune. Completely pointless, but brilliant. Well, we're still at 4th Avenue Guitars, but today we're not in the workshop. I need to wind some pickups, so I've got my pickup winding station up here away from all the dust, because delicate electronics and dust don't really mix. I've broken quite a few things finding that out. So for the past few years I've been using the UK CNC mini pickup winder, which I think quite a few people have started using in recent years. It's fantastic. I got this, oh god, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. I think it was one of the first batch that they did, and they've done lots of updates since. So if you're thinking about it, I can't recommend it enough. It's absolutely fantastic once you've learned how to use it. And one of the key things for doing pickups, or for making pickups, is repeatability. Once you've found something that works, you want to be able to do it again and again, and this thing makes that really easy to do. So for the Phoenix, or the Magpie, it's got 2 names, I get confused, I need some Filtertrons. So normally what I'll do is, because I only make pickups in fairly small quantities, usually for each guitar that I build, rather than making a range of pickups to sell, which at some point in the future I might do, never know, keep your eyes peeled if you want some. I tend to buy them in kit form, but when you buy them in kit form, usually there's a couple of parts that aren't all that great, or aren't quite the right spec you're looking for. And the one thing with Filtertron kits is you get this standard Alnico bar magnet, which is great for a humbucker, but a big part of the Filtertron sound comes from the fact that they're actually made with, or the vintage ones especially, are made with a double thickness bar magnet. Now I get all my magnets from Mag in Sheffield, and they've got a page on their website specifically dedicated to guitar pickup magnets. They'll do pretty much anything you could want. I'll stick a link in the description. As with anything, the more you buy, the cheaper it works out. So I need to start doing them in bulk really, don't I? So I'm going to be using my 42 gauge standard copper coil wire. You can buy this in small reels for 1 or 2 pickups, you can buy it in giant reels for thousands of pickups. I tend to get 1 kilogram at a time because it lasts me a while and I can get a few pickups out of this. The standard size that most pickups will use is 42 gauge, which in metric is 0.063 millimeters, I think. It's like hair. It's really thin, and if you're starting out, you'll snap loads of the first stuff. You will snap wire left, right and centre, and chances are, I haven't wound any pickups for a little while, I'll probably snap some wire and have to restart one of the coils. But let's hope that doesn't happen. I love the sound of a vintage style unpotted pickup. They've got the kind of harmonics and the microphonics that just give a little bit extra, but they take a bit more effort to wind. You've got to be a bit more consistent. You've got to get the coils nice and tight to make sure that they don't move around, and you can't really play them at high volume or high gain quite as easily because they like to feed back. Potted pickups can kind of sound a little bit sterile if they're not done well, and you lose a little bit of the kind of character, in my opinion. But they're also infinitely more versatile when it comes to live scenarios, because you can crank the gain, you can crank the volume, and they won't squeal. So if we boil it down, the difference between potted and unpotted is this. Dip the pickup in wax. If you dunk it in a mixture of about 80% paraffin wax to 20% beeswax, the beeswax just helps bring down the melting point and make it smell a bit nicer. Although paraffin wax is basically just candle wax, so you could use the scented stuff, which I might do in future. I might get some lavender scented and have lavender scented pickups. Back to the point. You dunk your pickup into the melted wax until the bubbles stop. If you leave it longer, it'll be more solid. If you don't put it in as long, it'll be less potted, essentially.